Hariom children, hope you have completed your previous class work. Now we are going to see what are the next topics in fractions in this class. Now we will be seeing what are the fractions in lowest term. How to find out the fractions in lowest terms. Fractions in the lowest terms are discussed in the following steps in order to reduce a fraction. In order to reduce a fraction. In order to reduce a fraction to its lowest term, the following steps are: Step 1. Find HCF. HCF means what, Nana? Highest common factor of the numerator top number and the denominator bottom number. For both the numbers, we have to find the highest common factor. Next, divide both the numerators and denominator by HCF. Highest common factor. HCF means highest common factor. Whatever the highest common factor we are getting, with that number we have to divide the numerator and denominator obtained in step 1 to get the equivalent fractions in lowest terms or in the simplest form. Now we will see how we will do that. Now we will see the example how to find our fraction into lowest fraction. So what is the number we have taken here? Reduce each of the following fractions in lowest term. What is our example here? 15 by 35. 15 by 35 is my fraction, and that fraction I have to convert into lowest fraction. That means smaller fraction. How I am going to do this now? First, what I have to do, I have to find the factors of 15 and 35. For finding factors of 15 and 35, how I have to find, Nana? I have already told you what are the factors. Factors are nothing but the tables in which we are identifying the taken numbers. 15, in which tables you can see? 1 table, 3 table, 5 table and 15 table. So number 1 and the number which we are taken, that is 15, will be the factors of the number compulsory. Now what are the remaining factors here? 3 and 5. In the same way we have to find the factors of 35. So 1 and 35 are factors already. Now we have to find remaining factors. So remaining factors are 5 sevens are 35, 7 fives are 35. Is any other table there in which we can find 35? No. So these are the factors of the 15 and 35. Now first what we have to do? We have to find the common factors. What are the common factors here? Common factors are 1 and 5. When you are observing the common factors here, the common factors are 1 and 5. So in this common factor, which is the highest common factor? Your highest common factor is 5. So therefore HCF, highest common factor of 15 and 35 is 5. Now what we have to do for finding our lowest common factor, lowest factor, that is least factor? We have to divide the common factor with the numerator and denominator, right? For finding the lowest fraction, what we have to do? We have to divide the common factor that with the numerator and denominator. When you are dividing it with the numerator and denominator, we will be getting our lowest fraction, lowest term of fraction. So what is that now? 15 should be divided by 5 and 35 should be divided by 5. When you are dividing like this, 15 will be coming 3 times in 5 tables, so that is 3, and 35 will be coming how many times? It will be coming 7 times in 5 tables. So what will be our fraction now here? Our fraction will be 3 by 7. This is one method where we can find our lowest term of the fraction. We will see one more example. In this example, first what is our number here? 126 divided by 90. This is a bigger number. Now for finding the HCF of this number, what we have to do? We have to take 126 and 90. and we have to find the lowest term of the fraction. For finding the lowest term of fraction, how we are going to find here? Write your 126 and 90 in a horizontal line. Now take your prime number. What is your prime number? 2 is our prime number. And in this 126, how many times it goes in 2 table? We have to check. 126. How many times it comes in 2 table? We have to check. How many times it will come? Just we will check out here. 126 divided by 2. So 2 6 12. So remainder is 0. Bring down 6. So how many times here? 2, 3 is a 6. And your remainder will be 0. So it is dividing exactly the number by 2. So what is our number here? Our number is 63. Write down the number 63. And 90. 90 how many times it goes in 2 tables? So how many times it goes? 2 4s are 8, remainder is 1, so carry forward 0 down. How much is the number now? 10. It is 2 5s are 10. It is also dividing the number exactly. So what is your number here? Your number is 45. Now you have to check out your both the numbers 63 and 45. Now, if you observe, the place values in the ones are 3 and 5. So, it can't go in 2 tables. So, we'll go for the next table, that is 3. In 3 table 63, how many times it goes? It goes 21 times. 3 2s are 6, 3 1s are 3. Now, 45 it goes 15 times. If you divide, you'll be getting the answer. Now, 21 and 15, again, those are not prime numbers. Again, we have to do the prime factorization. So what is the number you are taking here again? 3. 3 sevens are 21, 3 fives are 15. Therefore, highest common factor of 126 and 90 is, what are your numbers here? Your numbers are 2, 3, 3. So multiply those three numbers. These are the prime numbers, right? You have to multiply those three prime numbers. So what you will be getting your answer as 2 3s are 6, 6 3s are 18. So 18 is your number. Now divide this 18 with the taken numbers. So what are your taken numbers? 126 and 90. Divide these numbers here with 18. When you are dividing these numbers with 18, you will be getting your answer as, in 18 table 126 comes for 7 times and 90 comes for 5 times. So what will be your lowest fraction? Your lowest fraction is 7 by 5. This is one more method where we are going to identify our lowest terms or highest fractions. Now we will talk about like fractions and unlike fractions. What are like fractions and what are unlike fractions? Like fractions. Fractions with the same denominators, bottom numbers. Denominators means bottom numbers. For suppose 4 by 6 and 7 by 6. What are your bottom numbers here? Your bottom numbers are 6. These are called denominators, are called like fractions. For example here 2 by 13, 5 by 13, 12 by 13 and 35 by 13 are like fractions with the same denominators, bottom numbers. If you observe your bottom numbers here, it is 13, 13, 13 and 13. These are called the same denominators and known as like fractions. One more example we will see. 1 by 6, 17 by 6, 25 by 6, 16 by 6. If you compare your bottom numbers, denominators 6, 6, 6 and 6. These also equal. All the denominators are equal. That's why this is known as like fraction. In the same way, one more example. 16 by 9, 19 by 9, 89 by 9, 115 by 9. Your denominators here is 9, 9, 9 and 9. All the denominators are equal. So, these fractions are known as like fractions. Now, what are unlike fractions? Like fractions means all the denominators are equal. Then what is meant by the unlike fractions? Opposite of like fractions. What is opposite of like fractions? Denominators are not equal in the bottom numbers. Denominators are not equal in the bottom numbers. So our bottom numbers are nothing but our denominators. So fractions with different denominators, that is bottom numbers, are called unlike fractions. For suppose I have taken 4 by 8, 9 by 10, 3 by 5. What you are observing here, the bottom numbers are totally different. Such type of fractions are known as unlike fractions. So for example, 2 by 3, 15 by 13, 12 by 17, 35 by 19 are unlike fractions with different denominators. If you observe here, your bottom numbers 3, 13, 17, 19. Here these are different numbers in the bottom numbers. So such type of numbers are known, such type of fractions are known as unlike fractions. Now one more example we will see. It is 1 by 6, 17 by 14, 25 by 16, 16 by 23. If you observe the denominator 6, 14, 16, 23. All the denominators are different here. So, such type of fractions are known as unlike fractions. One more example, 16 by 19, 9 by 4, 89 by 9, 115 by 21. Denominators are equal here? No, because 19, 4, 9 and 21 are different here. So, such type of fractions are known as unlike fractions. Denominators, that means bottom numbers with same numbers, are known as like fractions. Denominators with different numbers are known as unlike fractions. Children, now we'll see how to compare the numbers, how to compare the fraction numbers. Comparing like fractions, how to compare the fractions. In comparing like fractions, it is always easy to compare two or more because their denominators are same. When we are comparing like fractions, it is very easy to compare because the denominators will be equal. The denominators will be equal, so it is very easy to identify our fractions, whether which is the greater fraction and which is the smaller fraction. Now, to compare two like fractions, it is enough to compare their numerators. We can compare only the numerators and we can identify which is the greater fraction. If there are two like fractions, then the fraction with the greater numerator is greater. The fraction with the greater numerator. Remember that always in like fractions, and the top number is called numerator, which is a greater numerator, that will be our greater fraction. This is only in the case of like fractions. Understood, ma? Only in like fractions it is very easy to compare our fractions. For suppose I have taken here two fractions, 9 by 13 and 5 by 13. If you observe here, 9 is greater than 5. So, our fraction is here 9 by 13 is greater than 5 by 13. Or we can write it as 5 by 13 less than 9 by 13. In the same way, one more fraction I have taken, two fractions. One more example, that is 15 by 7 is greater than 13 by 7, or 13 by 7 is less than 15 by 7. If you compare here, 15 is greater than 13. So, which is a greater fraction here? 15 by 7 is a greater fraction. This is how we compare when we are taking two fractions. If suppose we are taking many fractions in like fractions, how we are going to write them? We'll just see one example here how to write it. Now, there are three or more like fractions can be arranged in ascending or descending order by arranging their numerators in ascending or descending order. We'll just check out only the numerators. Numerators we'll check and we'll write them in ascending and descending order. For example, what are the fractions I have taken here? 13 by 8, 5 by 8, 7 by 8, 1 by 8, 11 by 8, 15 by 8. right? These are my fractions. Ascending means small to big, small to big. Now what I have to do, I have to compare only my numerators, I have to compare. When I am comparing my numerators, what is the smallest one here? 1, right? After that followed by 5, and next it is 7, next it is 11, next it is 13, and the last is 15. So how we are going to write? 1 by 8 is less than 5 by 8, 5 by 8 is less than 7 by 8, 7 by 8 is less than 11 by 8, 11 by 8 is less than 13 by 8, and 13 by 8 is less than 15 by 8. This is how we are going to write in ascending order, right? One more example we will see. 3 by 11, 1 by 11, 8 by 11, 6 by 11, 7 by 11, and 9 by 11. How we are going to arrange them in descending order? What is meant by descending order? Big to small, higher to small. Now in this case also I have to compare only the numerators. When I am comparing the numerators, which is my greatest numerator here? It is 9. 9 followed by 8. 8 followed by 7, 7 followed by 6, 6 followed by 3, and 3 followed by 1, right? 9 by 11 is greater than 8 by 11, 8 by 11 is greater than 7 by 11, 7 by 11 is greater than 6 by 11, 6 by 11 is greater than 3 by 11, 3 by 11 is greater than 1 by 11. This is how we are going to write our fractions in descending order. Comparing unlike fractions. When we are comparing like fractions, it is very easy. Now we have to see how we are going to compare unlike fractions. In comparing unlike fractions, we first convert them into like fractions by using the following steps, then compare them. So we all know when we are taking a different fraction, for making that equivalent, what we have to do? We have to multiply same number on the top and bottom numbers. That is, for numerator and denominator, we have to multiply a number to find out our equivalent fractions, right? In the same way, we are going to compare here by changing unlike fractions into like fractions. What are the steps for that? We will see here. So what are the steps? Obtain the denominators of the fractions and find the LCM. LCM means what? Least common multiple. Second step, each fractions are converted to its equivalent fraction with the denominator equal to the LCM obtained in step 1. Step 3. Compare the numerators of the equivalent fractions whose denominators are same. So these are the 3 steps we are having to convert our unlike fractions to like fractions. How we are going to convert them, we will see now. Now we will compare 7 by 8 and 5 by 6 here. First, what we have to do, we have to find the LCM of the denominators because the denominators are different here. It is 8 and it is 6. We have to find the LCM of this number. So how we are going to find LCM? For finding LCM, write 6 and 8 in the horizontal line. Take our prime number 2. Now we have to see 6 in 2 table how many times it comes. It comes for 3 times, right? So write down 3. Next, 8 comes 4 times. So write 4 down. Now you repeat with the same prime number 2. So in 2 will not come for 3 will not come in 2 tables. So write down 2 as it is. And 4 you can change. 2 2s are 4. You change the number 2 here. Now again take the same prime number, that is 2, and write 3 as it is down. In prime factorization we have this option. When a number can't go in that table, you will be writing the same number down and the other number you will be doing the factorization. Now what is our number here? 2. In 2 table 2 comes how many times, Nana? 1 time. So write down 1. So we can stop here. Oh, so what is our next prime number? Our next prime number is 3 because we are having 3 here. Take 3 number. 3 in 3 table comes for 1 time. So 3 ones are 3. So what is our last numbers coming here? 1 and 1. We are going to stop our prime factorization now. Now we have to find the LCM. For finding the LCM, what you have to do? You have to multiply all the prime numbers you got here. So what are your prime numbers here? 2 into 2 and multiply again with 2 and multiply again with 3. When you are multiplying this, what is the product you are getting? You are getting your product as 24. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 3s are 24. Now we convert each fraction into equivalent fraction with 24 as its denominator. Now we have to convert our fraction 7 by 8 and 5 by 6. These are our two fractions, right? We have to convert our denominators as 24. For converting it for 24, what is the common number we have to see? So for getting 24, what you have to do here, you have to multiply it with 3. Down you are multiplying it with 3. That's why numerator also will be multiplying by 3. So 8 3 is a 24 and 7 3 is a 21. Your fraction will be 21 by 24. In the same way, 6 should be multiplied for getting 24. How much you have to multiply here? Yes, tell me. It is 4. 6 4s are 24 and same number should be multiplied on the numerator. That is 4 again. 5 into 4 is 20. 6 into 4 is 28. So what will be your fraction here? 24. Sorry Nana. 5 into 4 is equal to 20. 6 into 4 is equal to 24. What is your fraction now here? It is 20 by 24. Right? Now what are your two fractions here? 21 divided by 24 and 20 divided by 24. How you can find out these numbers, multiplicative numbers here? Simple. Just you divide the numbers. 24 divided by our denominator 8, you will be getting 3. And 24 divided by our denominator 6, you will be getting 4. By calculating this, you can multiply the numbers for getting equivalent fraction. Now when you compare 21 and 20, 21 and 20, 20 is less than 21. So what is our fraction here? 20 by 24 is less than 21 by 24, means 5 by 6 is less than 7 by 8. This is how we are going to compare our unlike fractions. First you have to find out the LCM, and whatever the product you are getting, you have to make that product equal in both the fractions what we have taken. Then you have to compare the ascending and descending order of the fractions. Children, now it is your turn. Here is your exercise. Do your exercise. Go through the exercise problems carefully, read the question and then answer your exercise. First one you have to do for finding common factors. Then you have to segregate it to your lowest fraction. Second one you have to do in highest common factor. And third question is ascending order, it is like fraction. Fourth question is descending order, it is unlike fraction. So when you are seeing unlike fraction, for doing a descending order, what you have to do, you have to take the LCM first, convert into like fractions, then only you can compare the fractions. Hope you will be doing all your exercise sums well. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me. Hari Om. Thank you.